Eternal Monsoon. A Love Story. Setting: Mumbai, India, and Seoul, South Korea, 2025. The story unfolds against the backdrop of vibrant cityscapes, monsoon rains, and quiet moments of connection. Chapter 1. The Rainy Encounter. Arav Sharma, a 28-year-old documentary filmmaker from Mumbai, was known for capturing raw human emotions on camera. His latest project was a cross-cultural film exploring how love transcends borders, funded by an international arts grant. To complete it, he traveled to Seoul, a city he'd never visited, to collaborate with a South Korean music composer, Soo Min Park. Their first meeting was anything but smooth. Arav arrived at a quaint cafe in Insadong during a sudden downpour, his umbrella useless against the relentless rain. Soaked and frustrated, he spotted Soo Min at a corner table, her eyes fixed on a notebook filled with musical notes. She was 26, with a quiet intensity, her fingers tapping rhythms only she could hear. "Mr. Sharma?" she asked, barely looking up. "Arav, please," he replied, shaking water off his jacket. "And you're Soo Min?" She nodded, her expression unreadable. "You're late. And wet. The rain doesn't exactly follow schedules," he quipped, trying to lighten the mood. Their conversation was formal, almost cold. Soo Min was meticulous, questioning every detail of Arav's vision for the documentary. He wanted her to compose a score blending Indian classical music with Korean melodies, but she was skeptical. "Why mix them? They're worlds apart," she said. Arav smiled. "That's the point. Love bridges worlds." As they parted ways, the rain hadn't stopped. Arav offered to share his now broken umbrella, and Soo Min reluctantly agreed. They walked in silence, the patter of rain filling the gaps. At her subway station, she turned to him. "Don't be late tomorrow," she said, but her eyes lingered a moment longer than necessary. Chapter 2. Notes and Nuances. Over the next few weeks, Arav and Soo Min worked closely in her small studio, filled with traditional Korean instruments and a sitar Arav had brought from Mumbai. Their creative process was a battlefield. Soo Min's precision clashed with Arav's improvisational style. Yet, as they argued over chord progressions and ragas, a quiet respect grew. One evening, Arav played a Hindi song, Tum Hi Ho, on his phone, explaining its emotional weight in Indian cinema. Soo Min listened, her fingers instinctively mimicking the melody on her gayagium. "It's sad but hopeful," she said softly, surprising him. She shared a Korean ballad, Through the Night, by IU, and Arav felt a lump in his throat at its tender longing. Late nights in the studio became their routine. They'd order kimbap and vada pav, laughing over their cultural differences. Soo Min's love for spicy kimchi baffled Arav, while he teased her about her inability to handle Indian chai's intensity. One night, as monsoon rains hit Seoul, unusual for the season, they stayed late, lost in music. Arav caught Soo Min humming a raga he'd taught her. "You're stealing my culture," he teased. She smirked. "Maybe I'm just borrowing it." Chapter 3. The Unspoken. Their bond deepened outside the studio. Arav showed Soo Min photos of Mumbai's chaotic streets, promising to take her to Marine Drive someday. She introduced him to Hanbo shopping in Gyeongbokgung, laughing as he struggled to pronounce Korean phrases. But beneath their growing friendship, something unspoken simmered. One evening, during a shoot at Namsan Tower, Arav filmed couples attaching love locks. Soo Min watched, her expression distant. "Do you believe in forever?" she asked suddenly. Arav lowered his camera. "I believe in moments that feel like forever." She looked away, but he noticed her hands tremble. Later, at a street food stall, Soo Min shared her past. She'd lost her older brother to an accident years ago, leaving her guarded, pouring her emotions into music instead of people. Arav listened, sharing his own story of losing his mother young, how filmmaking became his way to process grief. For the first time, they weren't just collaborators, they were two souls seeing each other's scars. Chapter 4. The Breaking Point. As the documentary neared completion, tension arose. The grant committee demanded changes to the film, wanting a more commercial angle. Arav resisted, but Soo Min, pragmatic, urged him to compromise. "You can't fight every battle," she said. "You don't get it," Arav snapped. "This film is my truth." Hurt flashed in her eyes, and she walked out. Days passed without contact. Arav worked alone, but the studio felt empty without Soo-min's presence. He missed her quiet humming, her sharp wit. One night, unable to sleep, he listened to a rough mix of her score, a haunting blend of sitar and gyeogyam, and realized it wasn't just the music he needed. It was her. He found her at the cafe where they'd first met, sketching notes in her book. "I'm sorry," he said, sitting across from her. "I was wrong to push you away." Soo-min looked up, her eyes soft but guarded. "You think love bridges worlds, but you built a wall between us." Her words stung, but she didn't leave. They talked until dawn, rebuilding their trust. Chapter 5. The Confession. The documentary premiered at a small Seoul film festival, earning praise for its raw emotion and innovative score. At the after-party, under twinkling fairy lights, Arv and Soo-min stood on a balcony overlooking the Han River. The air was heavy with the scent of rain. "Soo-min," Arv began, his voice unsteady. "This project, it was never just about the film. It was about finding you." Her breath caught, and she looked at him, eyes wide. "Arv, I'm scared. What if this doesn't last?" He took her hand, his thumb brushing her knuckles. "Then we'll make every moment count." Slowly, she leaned in, and their lips met, a soft, hesitant kiss that felt like the first rain of the monsoon. Chapter 6. The Distance. Their love bloomed, but reality loomed. Arv's visa was expiring, and he had to return to Mumbai. Soo-min couldn't leave Seoul, her music career was taking off. They promised to make it work, video calls and letters bridging the 5,000 kilometers between them. But distance strained their bond. Time zones clashed, and missed calls led to misunderstandings. One night, during a heated call, Soo-min cried, "Maybe we're too different." Arv, heartbroken, didn't argue. They stopped talking, each believing the other deserved better. Chapter 7. The Reunion. 6 months later, Arv returned to Seoul for a film screening. He hadn't told Soo-min, unsure if she'd want to see him. At the event, he heard a familiar melody, her score, played live by a small ensemble. She was there, in a hanbok, her eyes searching the crowd. When they locked eyes, time stopped. She ran to him, tears streaming. "I thought I lost you," she whispered. "You're my home," he said, pulling her close. They kissed again, this time with the certainty of two people who'd fought for their love. Epilogue. Arv and Soo-min moved to Mumbai together, where she opened a music school blending Indian and Korean traditions. Their love wasn't perfect. Cultural differences and stubborn personalities led to fights, but they learned to navigate them. Every monsoon, they'd walk Marine Drive, hand in hand, remembering the rain that brought them together. As Arv once said, love doesn't erase borders. It builds bridges over them.